So friends, now again we are going to discuss the previous year's questions of UPSC asked in GS paper 1. So the question is, comment on the resource potential of the long coastline of India. What are the resource potential of the long coastline of India? What all resources India has access to because of its long coastline? Resource potentials of the long coastline of India. What advantages do India possess, or what resources India avails because of its long coastline? See, first and very important benefit or resource that India avails because of its long coastline is because of UN clause. India has long coastline. You can see India has long coastline. See the map. India has long coastline, 7,516 kilometer long. Now, because of this, under UN clause, United Nations Convention on Seas, 1982, because of long coastline, India has command over 20 lakh square kilometer of exclusive economic zone. Because of its long coastline, India has command over 20.13 lakh square kilometer of the adjoining seas. Exclusive, this is the area of exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone basically extends from baseline, that is low tide line, up to 200 nautical miles. 200 nautical miles. So because of this extensive long coastline, India has command over 20 lakh square kilometer of this area of exclusive economic zone. In addition to this, India has command over an additional area of 4.5 lakh square kilometer of shelf area, purely because India's coastline is long and shelves are wider. Because of long coastline, in total, India has command over 20 plus 4.5 lakh square kilometer, that is 24.5 square kilometer of oceanic area is under India's command. And under UN clause, India has exclusive right to the exclusion of others. Only India can exploit mineral and oil and gas resources of this region. No other country has the right to exploit any non-living resource. Only India has the right. Yes, living resource तो हम करते हैं exploit, but in case of mineral and oil resource, mineral, oil, gas, India has exclusive right. Only India can exploit the mineral and oil and gas resource from this region. 20 lakh square kilometer area of exclusive economic zone and additional 4.5 lakh square kilometer of continental shelf area is further allocated to India because of its long coastline and wider shelf. Now, this, you see, Andaman Sea में भी oil मिला है. We have discovered oil in Andaman Sea. Why? Because we have exclusive economic, we have exclusive right over this entire zone. What all minerals will be discovered, only India can exploit it. Pehla. Second, long coastline also enables marine fishing. Marine fishing, basically, if you see along eastern coast of India, aquaculture has proliferated to such an extent that India is world's second largest producer of aquaculture products. Basically, government को इतना ज़्यादा aquaculture flourish कर गया along east coast कि coastal ecosystem began to be threatened. So government proposed coastal regulation zone 1991 to protect the coastal ecosystem from the encroachment of coastal aquaculture. लेकिन coastal aquaculture की वजह से India became world's second largest producer of shrimp, world's second largest producer of prawn. These are crustacean resources. Crustaceans are just like fishes, but they have solid upper covering with several pairs of legs. like shrimp and prawn. Out of total seafood export of the country, the export of shrimp alone accounts for 67% export. About 45,000 crore of shrimp is exported annually. So India is this has been made possible only because of long coastline. Now minerals, coastal, because of long coastline, these coastal areas are repositories of sand and gravel, which are widely used for construction purpose. So coastal areas are the reservoirs of sand and gravel. In addition to sand and gravel, India's coastline is basically immensely rich with monazite deposits, placer deposits of monazite. Monazite is basically an ore. You might have heard about recently fast breeder reactor program. It was initiated by Indira Gandhi, and the fast breeder reactor, the third stage has completed. Recently, it was in news. Monazite is used to breed thorium. Monazite contains 10% thoria and 0.3% uranium. Monazite, yet thorium is extracted from monazite, and that thorium is used to breed uranium by way of fast breeder reactor that has recently been completed. India does not have huge deposits of uranium, but we do have huge deposits of monazite sand all along east and west coast. But Malabar coast is immensely rich in terms of monazite sand, monazite deposits. And because monazite is having huge 10% thorium, so this thorium is used by way of fast breeder reactor to breed uranium, which can be used as nuclear fuel. Now, coastal regions are huge, they have huge deposits of oil and gas, both onshore as well as offshore. Krishna Godavari offshore region, Kaveri onshore region, Bombay High offshore region, Baseen offshore region. So these coastal regions, because oil got deposited, is found in sedimentary rocks basically, and these coastal regions have sedimentary deposits. So they have because of long coastline, India has large deposits of oil and gas, both offshore and onshore regions. Now India is God gifted with very consistent wind system. Now during summers, the southwest monsoons are consistently blowing, southwest monsoon. During winters, the northeast monsoons are consistent. These consistent wind system blowing over the adjoining seas can be harnessed for generating wind energy on a very large scale. Because of long coastline, along the low-lying coastline, wind blows very fast, and because India has consistent wind system, southwest monsoon in summer, northeast monsoon in winter, these wind system can be harnessed to generate huge amount of wind energy, and that is being done by the government of India. That is, due to long coastline and consistent wind system, coastal regions have huge potential for generating wind energy. Secondly, I am very disappointed to see that government of India is taking no measures where India has its own inherent strength. For example, because of long coastline, India has huge potential to generate wave energy. No R&D work has been done by government of India till date. Wind energy तो harness की, क्योंकि turbines were made outside and they borrowed the technology. Solar energy we are harnessing because efficient solar panels were developed by someone else, and we harness the technology. But we never tried to tap wave energy. Wave energy along long coastline, waves can generate sufficient energy to fulfill the entire needs of the country. हमने कोई भी विजिंगम में कभी 80s में एक प्लांट लगा था केरला में, और एक मूसी में, निकोबार आइलैंड में, नैनकोवरी आइलैंड में एक प्लांट लगा था वेव एनर्जी का 80s में. उसके बाद उस पायलट प्रोजेक्ट के बाद गवर्नमेंट डिड नो एफर्ट, मेड नो एफर्ट टिल डेट. इट इज मेकिंग नो एफर्ट. इट्स नॉट इन्वेस्टिंग इन रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट. कोई दे दे टेक्नोलॉजी तो ठीक है. We are just waiting for others to develop technology. Otherwise, this long coastline can ensure abundant source of renewable energy to India, which can fulfill India's entire need, wave energy. Then tidal energy. Yes, This Gulf of Cambay has huge potential for tidal energy, but government is silent, is making no research and development in this. पढ़ लेना कहीं भी कोई research and development किया हो. और सबसे बढ़कर India's 2000 kilometer long coastline in south along Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Here surface water is always warm, epilimnion, and underlying hypolimnion water is always cold, so that the temperature difference between upper and lower layer is more than 20 degrees centigrade for most part of the year. And as a result, OTEC energy can be harnessed. OTEC energy कब harness करते हैं? When the upper layer, that is epilimnion, I have discussed in previous lecture, and the lower layer hypolimnion, बीच में layer होती है thermocline, where the rapid change in temperature takes place. Upper layer temperature and the layer below this thermocline, then hypolimnion, then epilimnion, then thermocline, then hypolimnion. तीन लेयर होती हैं. अपर लेयर जो एपिलिमियन है और हाइपोलिमियन जो बॉटम वाली लेयर है, उसके बीच में टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस अगर 20 डिग्री से ज्यादा है, देन दिस रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर कैन बी हार्नेस टू जनरेट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. इंडिया कैन जनरेट सफिशिएंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी थ्रू आउट द ईयर along this 2000 kilometer long coastline along Kerala and Tamil Nadu that can fulfill the entire need of southern states. आईआईटी मद्रास ने 80s में एक प्लांट लगाया था कुलशेखरपट्टनम में, तमिलनाडु में, ऑफ ओटेक एनर्जी. उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट ने, पढ़ लेना, मेक इन इंडिया में मोदी जी ने क्या किया है, कुछ नहीं, इस रिगार्ड में कुछ नहीं किया है. गवर्नमेंट कहती है इट रिक्वायर्स लॉट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट इन रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट. भाई तुम्हारे लिए रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज थोड़ा ना करेंगी, क्योंकि हायर लैटिट्यूड में जो कंट्रीज है वहां पर ओटेक एनर्जी का पोटेंशियल ही नहीं है, क्योंकि वहां तो सरफेस भी वाटर कूल है, नीचे भी वाटर कूल है, टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस 20 डिग्री से ज़्यादा है ही नहीं. ये ट्रॉपिकल कंट्रीज हैं जहां पर टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस, और इंडिया में भी ये 2000 किलोमीटर लॉन्ग कोस्ट लाइन है जहां साल भर टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस बिटवीन अपर एंड लोअर लेयर इज मोर देन 20 डिग्री. एंड ओशन थर्मल एनर्जी कन्वर्जन ओटेक प्लांट्स कैन बी एस्टेब्लिश्ड which can generate electricity sufficient enough to fulfill the needs of southern states. अब बताओ कौन ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप करेगा? ट्रॉपिकल कंट्रीज विल हैव टू डेवलप, इंडिया विल हैव टू डेवलप, बट नीति आयोग सेज इट रिक्वायर्स ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट विद नो assured returns, so government of India is not investing in research and development. तो ऐसे ही पड़ा हुआ है पोटेंशियल ओटेक एनर्जी का, पोटेंशियल वेव एनर्जी का, potential. Basically these two can go a long way in fulfilling renewable energy. मतलब they can fulfill the need of the entire electricity need of the country, energy need of the country. But nothing is being done with regard to research and development in OTEC energy, nor in wave energy, nor in tidal energy. Now पोटेंशियल है, रिसोर्स पोटेंशियल, क्वेश्चन रिसोर्स पोटेंशियल के ऊपर आया है, डेवलप कर रहे हैं कि नहीं उसके ऊपर नहीं. वी आर डिस्कसिंग रिसोर्स पोटेंशियल ऑफ लॉन्ग कोस्ट लाइन. इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ लॉन्ग कोस्ट लाइन दैट इंडिया इज ऑपरेटिंग 13 मेजर पोर्ट्स एंड मोर देन 200 नॉन मेजर पोर्ट्स अलॉन्ग द कोस्ट लाइन. भाई कोस्ट लाइन है तभी तो हम पोर्ट्स ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं. 95% ऑफ द ट्रेड बाय वॉल्यूम इज हैंडल्ड बाय दीज पोर्ट्स. In non-major ports handle to more than 200 non-major ports handle 45% of the trade by volume. Major ports handle 55% of the trade by volume. Overall, all are dotted along the coast. These major and non-major ports together account for 95% of the total trade handled by the country. Now, second part of this question is highlight the status of नेचुरल हजार्ड प्रिपरेशन इन दीज एरियाज. कोस्टल एरियाज में अगर कोई नेचुरल हजार्ड आता है तो कंट्री की प्रिपेयर्डनेस कैसी है? सी, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ एडवांसमेंट इन स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी दैट वी हैव लॉन्च्ड, वी हैव प्लेस्ड सैटेलाइट्स in space. With the help of these satellites, it has enabled the India's meteorological department to predict the any extreme event with preciseness. Basically, previously cyclones used to make huge loss of life and property, but now these cyclones can be tracked with precision because of space technology, launching of satellites in space. The approach of cyclones are caused devastations along the east coast as well as west coast. And because of development in basically in this technology, early warning system has been developed. Why? Because of satellites, we are able to predict these movement of these cyclones with precision and with time when they are going to make landfall. That enables the early evacuation of people to cyclone shelters. Cyclone shelters भी बनाए गए हैं where they are evacuation centers where the people are evacuated and located there to protect them from cyclones. Now, second, National Disaster Management Authority plays a vital role in coordinating response and policy formation. National Disaster Management Authority along coastal area has been entrusted with this task of policy formulation and coordination. अब गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ इनिशिएटिव्स भी लॉन्च किए हैं, जैसे क्लाइमेट चेंज की वजह से जो कोस्टल एरियाज में हैजार्ड्स आ रहे हैं, उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट ने एक नया प्रोजेक्ट शुरू किया है, इनिशिएटिव लाइक इंटीग्रेटेड कोस्टल जोन मैनेजमेंट प्रोजेक्ट. कोस्टल जोन मैनेजमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स जैसे इनिशिएटिव लिए गए हैं have been implemented to address the challenge posed by climate change in coastal areas. So government has taken several measures. Mangrove have been planted along the coastal areas because they reduce the ferocity and severity of cyclones. So all these measures have been taken to protect natural hazard from to protect coastal areas from natural hazards. Now, next. Identify. Next question is, see, you can avail our classes beginning from 1st August, both for GS Geography separate batches there and Geography optional separate batches there, है ना? And you can reap the benefit of the quality lectures that are delivered by this institute. And we've threadbare analyzed the previous year's question with adequate in-depth clarity. For example, next question. Identify and discuss the factors responsible for diversity of natural vegetation in India. Why there is so much diversity of natural vegetation in India? Identify the factors and identify and discuss the factors responsible for diversity of flora, diversity of vegetation in India. See, the vegetation of any place, is directly dependent upon temperature prevailing at that place, amount of precipitation received by that place, soil type, nature of soil, and above all, human interference. Most important factor nowadays, human interference. Man has been responsible for the various changes in the gradation of vegetation. Now, in case of India, the question says identify and discuss the factors which are responsible for diverse vegetation, diversity of natural vegetation in India. See, if you take the case of India, you will find, although Tropic of Cancer passes through middle of the country, तुम देखोगे Tropic of Cancer passes through middle of the country. Tropic of Cancer ऐसे पास होता है. But because of Himalayas in the north, the entire country is having warm climate for most part of the year. Except 2-3 months in winter, northern part is having cool climate. Otherwise, because of Himalayas which protect the country from cold, icy Siberian winds, Himalayas, although Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle, but throughout the country below 900 meters, we have tropical climate, warm climate. 900 meters से नीचे अगर पूरे country में तुम कहीं भी घूमोगे, you will find warm climate for most part of the year. Here below 900 meter, but variation in precipitation is huge. 900 meter के नीचे, anywhere in the country below 900 meter, you will find tropical climate. warm climate. Below 900 meter, the variation in the nature of vegetation is purely because of variation in precipitation. You can see this. Below 900 meter, here what we see, uh, wherever rainfall is more than 250 centimeter, below 900 meter, vegetation is tropical evergreen vegetation. 900 मीटर के नीचे एवरीवेयर इट इज वार्म थ्रू आउट द कंट्री फॉर मोस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द ईयर. तो जो भी वेरिएशन वेजिटेशन में होता है दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ वेरिएशन इन प्रेसिपिटेशन. तो जहां रेनफॉल इज मोर देन 250 सेंटीमीटर, वेजिटेशन इज ट्रॉपिकल एवरग्रीन. Wherever the rainfall goes below 250 centimeter but above 200 centimeter, the vegetation degenerates from evergreen to semi-evergreen. When the rainfall goes below 200 but above 150 centimeter, the vegetation transforms into moist deciduous vegetation. Where the rainfall further declines below 150 to 100 centimeter, the vegetation transforms into dry deciduous. Where rainfall further goes below 100 to 60 centimeter, the dry deciduous vegetation transforms into savanna type vegetation. And where the rainfall goes below 60 but above 30 centimeter, the savanna vegetation undergoes biotic change into semi desert scrub. And where the rainfall is below 30 centimeter, we have desert vegetation. This speaks volumes about the impact of precipitation on the distributional feature of नेचुरल वेजिटेशन. 900 मीटर से नीचे जहां इंडिया में हर जगह वार्म होता है, द वेरिएशन इन द नेचर ऑफ वेजिटेशन इज प्रोमिनेंटली डिटरमाइंड बाय वेरिएशन इन द लेवल ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन. बट व्हेन यू मूव अबव 900 मीटर with increasing altitude, temperature starts decreasing. Above 900 meter, the changes in the nature of vegetation are attributed to changes in temperature, because as you move up, the temperature goes on declining. You can see up to 900 meter we have tropical vegetation. Further above, up to 1500 to 1800 meter, we have subtropical vegetation. Further above, we have temperate vegetation. Further above, we have alpine vegetation, beyond which it is barren. So this gradation is found in eastern Himalayas in a more prominent way, and to a less prominent way in western Himalayas. We'll discuss. Now, apart from temperature and precipitation, variation in soil type also impacts on the nature of vegetation. Basically, conifers are always associated with acidic soil because they don't require calcium and magnesium. Grasses are found in those areas where the soil is rich in bases, and grass itself enriches the soil with bases. Now, soil type, you can see mangrove vegetation. They are found between high tide line and low tide line in swampy areas. So that particular soil is muddy. That is conducive for the growth of mangrove vegetation. Sandy coastal vegetation, swamp vegetation. All these gradation in vegetation are because of variation in soil types. Now, human interference happens to be the most important factor for changes in the nature of vegetation. If you see in India, at one point of time, the primary succession was that of moist deciduous vegetation. This is known as monsoon vegetation, where where bamboos are found in the form of grassy undergrowth. Bamboo, घास की जगह bamboos मिलते हैं. In India, below 900 meter, the primary succession was of moist deciduous vegetation. Wherever these moist deciduous vegetation was cut by man, the secondary succession was that of dry deciduous vegetation. Where dry deciduous vegetation was cut, the tertiary succession was that of savanna vegetation. Where savanna was cut, it was followed by semi-desert scrub. All these grades of vegetation are the result of biotic changes. They are not natural, they are man-made. Now, second part of the question is, assess the significance of wildlife sanctuaries in rainforest regions of India. जो ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट रीजन्स कौन से होते हैं मालूम है? जो 900 मीटर से नीचे हैं और जहां रेनफॉल 250 सेंटीमीटर से ज्यादा है, like west facing slopes of western ghats, some northern parts of Assam, they are having rainforest region. West facing slopes of western ghats between 300 to 600 meter are having rainforest region. तो ये कह रहे हैं, assess the significance of wildlife sanctuaries in rainforest regions of India. जो ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट रीजन्स हैं वहां सेंचुरीज की इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है? एक चीज ध्यान से सुनो, जो ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट रीजन्स होते हैं, दे आर कैरेक्टराइज्ड बाय यूनिक इकोसिस्टम, heavy rainfall, immense biodiversity. Such environment cannot be replicated elsewhere. अगर these animals, जो रेन फॉरेस्ट में एनिमल्स रहते हैं, दे कैनॉट बी प्रिजर्व्ड एक्स सेतु, कहीं ले जाके उन्हें प्रिजर्व नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज सच एनवायरमेंट ऑफ रेन फॉरेस्ट, दैट इज रेनफॉल एवरी डे, डेली हैवी रेनफॉल, such environmental conditions cannot be replicated elsewhere. So these animals need to preserved in situ, because such ecosystem cannot be recreated anywhere else. So it is very important significance of wildlife sanctuaries in rainforest, because these endemic and endangered animals, fauna, can be preserved only in their natural habitat. So it becomes pertinent to preserve these areas in rainforest region. That is where the importance of sanctuary come into existence. This sanctuaries means those rainforest biodiversity areas need to be protected in the original environment, because such environment cannot be recreated. Because what if this ecosystem, this rainforests are destroyed, the animals found in these regions are mostly endemic to this region. They are not found elsewhere, and they are endangered also. So it is said the significance of wildlife sanctuaries in rainforest region of India, because of unique ecosystem associated with rainforest, cannot be replicated elsewhere. So it becomes indispensable to protect those that flora and fauna in its original place, in situ. The rainforest regions are characterized by very high biodiversity, and wildlife sanctuaries in these region, by creating wildlife sanctuaries in this region, we provide safe haven for the endemic and endangered species living in these regions. नीलगिरी ताहर और कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. Basically, it has to be lion-tailed macaque. It has to be protected. They are endemic. तो the wildlife sanctuary is not only. और दूसरी बात क्या है, इन एरियाज में जो aboriginals रह रहे हैं, tribals रह रहे हैं, they are also integral part of sanctuary. They are also protected along with plants and animals, so they don't get uprooted. Proper care is taken, so these tribals or aboriginals living in these areas don't get uprooted, is also the cause of making sanctuary, so that those aboriginals also remain protected. These forests are, in fact, Amazons are known as lungs of the world. These tropical rainforests has huge ability to absorb carbon, natural carbon sequestration, and they help contain global warming. So the forests are efficient absorber of CO2, therefore they help contain global warming. That also makes a sense for preserving these forests in their original areas. So friend, today 2 questions we have discussed. We'll continue further, and those who want to avail, मेरा पेन ड्राइव कोर्स भी है, इट्स वंडरफुल फॉर ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल. जीएस ज्योग्राफी के लिए लाइव ऑनलाइन क्लासेस हैं केवल 12,000 रुपए में. from 1st August, GS Geography, I will cover. You can visit my website and see the list of the topics that I will be covering in GS Geography. It's exhaustive. GS 1 में 100 मार्क्स का, GS 2 और GS 3 में एटलीस्ट 50 मार्क्स से क्वेश्चन कवर कर रहा हूँ. 74 topics I am covering. That includes topics from GS 2 and GS 3 also that are part of geography. So we are going to begin the classes from 1st August. So don't lose this opportunity. All the best.